Welcome back, everybody. My name is Amani, and this is Amani Reads and Reviews. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, I'm going to be doing a review on the Circle Season 5, the last 2 episodes of the season. We're going to discuss all things The Circle. So I'm going to go ahead and get my presentation up so we can go ahead and discuss everything. I hope that you guys are enjoying your week thus far. And I also want to let you know that I will be having a movie review out this Saturday or the latest by this Sunday. Also, I am going to be reviewing the Drifting Classroom Book 1. That is a manga series that I started. So I will go ahead and review that next week, and that video will be up next Saturday. So, anywho, let's go ahead and get started again. All right, so we are going to discuss the final 2 episodes of the last season. We're going to discuss who was the last to go home, and we're going to review the 5 contestants before they kind of were choosing a winner, and then we'll discuss the winner of season 5 of The Circle. So the second to last, the first episode of the last season of The Circle is called A Brutal Blocking, and this show starts with Tom realizing that he found out who the hacker was, which was Jennifer. He seems hurt by this information. Jennifer tries to be very strategic throughout this episode. She now knows that Tom knows what's going on, and Tom is just really hurt that Jennifer didn't tell everybody this information that she was a hacker, and he just seems like he can't really trust her. But at the same time, he's just like, look, they told me this information. Hopefully they'll keep me if they know basically what's good for them. That's the kind of vibe I was getting, although Tom definitely doesn't appear to be one of those really mean type of players. So a few moments go past, and the players, they all play this game called Love Day, and this game is basically about positivity. So eventually all the players, they end up rating each other for the last time before the last player gets blocked before the finals. So unfortunately, because Tom was the lowest played, he was the lowest ranking player, he automatically had to go home. So later that night, he decided to visit Jennifer, and he found out that actually Jennifer is not really Jennifer. She is Xanthi and Brett, who plays her as a catfish. So now we're going to talk about the finale. This show starts with a message from Tom, who last week he was the lowest ranking player, so he automatically was blocked, or I like to say sent home, because when you guys watch these type of TV shows and stuff, they always say, oh yeah, they got to go home and stuff like that. So Chaz was deemed the highest player. So he does get an opportunity, a huge advantage, to actually block a player. The last 6 players in the game, he blocks a player that he felt like didn't really belong, and he had to do it in person. So because he had a lot of issues with Oliver, there's this player, he's not a catfish, this is a regular guy. He had issues with Oliver because Oliver is really flirtatious. Chas really felt like he just came off really strong, and it wasn't really genuine, right? So anywho, tell me why, and I'm gonna just talk without looking at this at my presentation, but tell me why Chas goes to Oliver's home. Oliver is obviously attracted by Chas, right? But the thing is, Oliver is just way too much. It's like he's never been around other people, because he's just like, oh my gosh, like so like in awe of Chaz. And Chaz was kind of getting those you sticky type of vibes, you know? And like, tell me why Chaz just comes out of nowhere and says, like, hey, you know, I'm engaged. And then Oliver gonna say, oh yeah, I knew. And then Chaz is like, yeah, okay, like how did you know that? You know, just trying to be real fake or whatever. So they just start to talk and everything. And I mean, if y'all want to like look at this, y'all can. But yeah. So they start to talk, and Chaz is basically saying, you look, everything about Chaz is right. And like Oliver was saying, oh, you know, I always felt like you were a good player. And then Chaz mentioned, like, yeah, Raven was trying to like really get us together, but like I just felt like that you were like not a, you were a catfish, and you were just like coming on way too strong. So then when Chaz, before Chaz is leaving, Oliver going to give him a picture, like give him a pillow of his face to Chaz. I was like, like what was the point of that? And he was talking about, oh well, every time you lay down at night, you're gonna you're gonna remember that you sent home a really loyal player. And I'm just like, didn't this man just say he was engaged? Like why are you trying to be like one of those, what do they call them, housebreakers? He's engaged. He's tied down. Go sit down somewhere. Because like even if y'all like friends, like that's kind of like weird, you know? So I mean that's only in my opinion. So anywho, he got blocked, he's gone, bye-bye. And then the circle announces the like the last, really the last alert, and a lot, like it was five players left, and they found out that they are the final contestants of the entire game for a chance to win $100,000, which is great. That's awesome. Who wouldn't want to win $100,000? So all the final contestants, they meet up with each other, they get dressed, and they all go towards the like the circle lounge. So the first person to go to the lounge is Sam. So she's seated, she's looking around, everything looks fancy, everything looks nice. So she's followed by Chaz, and they are both so excited to meet each other. They never had doubts about who each other were. They just always believed that they were who they say they were. So after that, um, Xanthi and Brett comes in as Jennifer, and so shocked and just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then Tamara or Tasia comes in, and she's playing as Tamira. So they're just all getting to know each other, really connecting. Tamira's really telling everybody about her background, how she grew up as the only Black kid in like a predominantly white neighborhood. I definitely know how that feels. So like she definitely went out and talked, and she's from California. So again, I know how she feels being like the only Black kid in like at school everywhere. So she grew up bullied. She grew up really having like that out of body experience as a Black girl. And, I really related to her. I hated that she played Tamira because like she did a really bad job to me as, playing Tamira. But as Tasia, I felt like she was a really like sweet like woman. She was just really down to earth, and it was just nice to kind of get to know her in that aspect. And also Xanthi, she talked about how she is a model, she's not a school teacher, and everybody, like I literally agree with everybody when it came to Xanthi. They're saying like, girl, you should have went as yourself, because nobody believed that you were a daycare teacher. And like even Sam mentioned, she was like, yeah, my daycare teacher was basically manly, and she had a hairy chest or whatever she said. And I was just like, yeah, that's kind of true. Like teachers are kind of average looking, which they should be. The teachers nowadays be trying to do too much, and it's just too extra. You don't need to be wearing cute clothes when you're dealing with kids all day. You're walking up and down like stairs and like schools, and you're sweating. Like, calm down, relax. You ain't gotta do all that. So, anywho, Xanthi just blurts out that she and Brett as Jennifer, was the hacker. And when I tell you Sam was so mad, like Sam looked at them in disgust. She was just so pissed. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Because the thing is, Jennifer, not only did Sam have such a great relationship with her husband, Chaz, she also had a good relationship with Jennifer, but she was just so shocked that Jennifer or Xanthi and Brett did that to her and singled her out like the way they did. So when all that stuff was going on, Raven comes in, and Raven, she pretty much took the star of the show. She came in with her best friend, Paris, who is also her interpreter. They were getting to know each other. She found out who the hacker was. She found out like all the different characters, and she was like, "Oh my God, like Tamira is not Tamira." Like, she pretty much got a fighting chance with Marvin, and she really wanted to have a relationship with him. So, Raven also had two more interpreters come in, and they kind of went around the table and kind of communicated back and forth to Raven to communicate with the other players. So again, that was so awesome. I'm so glad that the circle did make that representation for the deaf community, people who have learning disabilities. I thought that was dope. I really appreciated that, and they didn't showcase it to the point to make her like handicapped. They kind of just showcased it in a way like she's everybody else. She gets to pick and choose different people. She gets to be as friendly as she wants, or she gets to be as devious or strategic as she wanted to. So that was pretty dope. Okay, so after everybody gets to meet each other, the circle kind of does another alert, and everybody kind of comes in. All the players from the entire season comes back to this big old stage room thing, and they just announce all the different players. Marvin comes out, Brian comes out, Bruno, Tom, Shuby, all them folks come out. They're talking to each other. They're getting to know each other. They're shocked at the catfishes. They're shocked at the actual players. And then the show starts to begin, and then the five contestants come out, and they're meeting everybody else again, and then they're meeting all these catfishes, and they're just having a good time. So the host of the show, she comes out, and I forget her name, but she's really funny. She comes out, she gets to greet everybody. She starts to talk about Marvin, why Marvin pretty much X'd out Raven when they had such a great alliance for Tamira, which is Tasia. And then, they asked if Marvin and Raven were going to ever have dates together. And I think Raven said along the lines that they need to build that trust. It was between me and you. Marvin ain't all that. I'm gonna be completely real. I've known somebody like him, and they kind of he kind of a player. He's kind of one of those guys. If he can get you, he'll get you, and he wouldn't even mention that he got a girlfriend or a whole ass relationship, or family an hour away. That's the type of vibes I'm getting from him, and I felt because he knew he was going home, he was trying to root for Raven and this and that and the third. But you should have been doing that. Y'all could have been a strong alliance, like how Chas and Sam were, right? So Chaz talks about himself, Sam talks, Xanthi and Brett get a chance to really talk about different things, and it was a really great reunion type of last season episode. So then they, announced the winners. So I'm not going to tell you guys the winners yet. We got another few presentations to go, and then we'll know who the winner was. So my opinion of the last 5 players. So again, Chas he played a really great game. He's really genuine. He's really kind. He got along with everybody. He's definitely one of my favorites. And I really respected him. Although he did lie about being a nurse, he does still have that background in healthcare of 10 years. His brother did pass in a tragic event. He is real in and out, and he's a really great player. Now we have Sam. She's, down to earth. She's very friendly. I feel like she got along with everybody, and if she felt like somebody was fake, she called them out immediately about it. And not only that, like when she found out about Jennifer being a hacker, the way she looked at Jennifer, she was mad. Honey was mad. And one thing about her, I think she kind of one of those spiritualists, and I'm not gonna really get into that, but somebody is really protecting her very, very well. Okay. She did not lie to anybody. Like whoever, like who she was as a person very much showed, and she wasn't really here to play with nobody. So we have Xanthia Jen. She's very strategic as a player. She's a bit messy. Um, I would like to see her play if they ever have another season. I would like to see her come back and play as herself because I felt like she did a really good job playing herself, and she did a pretty good job doing like playing Jennifer too. To be honest, but like it was her personality shining through for Jen. I just felt like she didn't really know how to like connect that to herself as a player before she was blocked. Um, yeah, she played as Jen as an aunt, but like Jen kind of turned really messy and like a player that I definitely would not want being my auntie at all. Now we have Brett as Jen. He's also very strategic. He's a good team player. They did mention he was in Big Brother. I did not see Big Brother. I've never really liked the series, but I don't know. I might get into that. I'm a huge like fan of like these game shows or talk shows, like like stuff like this. I like Family Feud. I like the what's the Circle. There is something that the Jonas Brothers they did something with some celebrities. I like a lot of that type of stuff. And Wipeout. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I like stuff like that from time to time. It's really good to watch, when you have nothing else to watch, especially in the summertime and stuff. So anywho, he was in Big Brother. I did not see that. But I feel like he's a great team player because of how he was with Xanthi. They did a good job with Jen because she was one of the most well liked players in the game, although I didn't care for her. A lot of the players did warm up to her, but towards the end they kind of like it was too late for them to realize that dang, like they should have kept Tom instead of Jen. So anywho, they made it to the final, so that's good for them. Brett on his own is kind of really dry and really boring, and I felt like he was just out of place because he couldn't connect with other people. I felt like even like him and Marvin, like they're both like bodybuilder type of guys. They both got like, you know, they work out, right? Because I ain't even gonna go there because I don't find neither one of them remotely attractive. I will say, yeah, I thought that they were going to get together and be like these cool bros and form an alliance that way, but it definitely was given like Brett didn't Brett did not fit at all. He just everybody was rap and he was country and nobody got along, and like Jen was like the cool hippie aunt. So I felt like he really did a good job playing Jennifer, but on his own, I felt like he just shied away. And I felt like because he didn't have nobody to relate to. And like, I swear, like, he would have related to all the like players if he just spoke up for himself. Because when you look at him, he looks like the life of the party. He looks like he's pretty cool to get along with. He looks like he's chill, and he looks like he can spot out fakeness. But I just felt like he just like trapped himself. Like all in all, Xanthi and Brett could have made great players if they just believed in themselves a little bit better. Now we have Taja as Tamira, and she is also one of the well liked players by most most of the team members except like Jennifer, I guess. But I'm gonna be real with you. She's also one of the ones I did not care for whatsoever because she had a role where she kept it just seemed like she kept complaining about the role that she had. And I'm just like, hun, you really want to sell this? You need to sell it to the point where it's like they are going to know that this is you. Okay. And like I felt like the characters kind of knew, but it was sometimes in the show where they're just like, like what? But she ends up saying, Tom didn't, but she ends up staying. And I will say that she is very I mean, the last two episodes, I kind of started to like care for her a bit much more. And then when she got to meet all the other characters, Tasia was actually more interesting than Tamira. So it's just really interesting how they do the catfishes in the show because if the catfishes play as their own characters, I felt, and they're safe and they're comfortable playing as themselves, they would do better. But because they're probably like really, they're not comfortable with playing with themselves, they play somebody else, and like their personality still shines through. So she did mention that although she played as Tamira, everything she said minus the makeup was actually true about Tamira, and then also like her stance of who she is as a woman and her likes and stuff like that. But other than that, like everything else about her was kind of like spot on, I guess. So now we have Raven and Paris. Raven to me is still like the life of the party. She gets along with everybody. She and Paris are really great friends. And I really enjoyed that she continuously advocated for disabled people and like the deaf community. I really appreciate that she did that. She's really authentic and she's definitely a queen. Like honestly, she pretty much her and Chas was like neck to neck all the time throughout the season. So I think that she was a really powerful player, and the fact that she did not like break like Paris didn't have anything to do with the show. He was just there for support, and that was it. But she pretty much did everything. Like she made the rules and all of that. So now we're going to announce the winner. Okay, so if you guys watch this, you already know who it is, but this is the winner. Sam. Sam is the winner, which was such a shock to me because I thought that Chas was going to win. But Sam won, and nonetheless, I'm very happy that she's won. I'm really happy that she was able to get what she wanted this entire time. And that's good on her. That's really good on her. Um she was kind of like, she didn't believe that she was going to win either. She was really shocked. She thought that Chas was going to win. Like she was just like going to be so happy if Chas won. And she kind of shares like some touching moments about her personal life and her grandmother, and how she wants to get her grandmother out of the projects, and how her grandmother has some health issues. So she's, saying that how this money is going to help her family. And that was pretty dope. Honestly, from her background, I think she is maybe Puerto Rican or something. Um, but yeah, she has a really close family and everything, but she really wanted to help her family. So I felt like the win for her was like, well, like very much needed. But she just kept saying, I can't believe this. I don't deserve this, And like Chaz kind of had to tell her, like, hey, like you deserve this. You need to know for yourself that you deserve this. You need to know for yourself that you did everything in your power to get this opportunity to win this money. And like, he just told her to believe in herself. So I felt like even off the show of the circle, her and Chas would be like really, really great friends. And I'm really happy for her. I just hope everything else in her life goes the way that she wants it to go. I hope her grandmother gets the help she needs. And it was just a really great season. I really enjoyed the season. I thought it was the most interesting season of all the seasons, although I had a lot of issues with some of the, players. All in all, it was a great season. It was a lot of diversity in this season. There was people from like different backgrounds, their different disabilities, different beliefs. I really like that. Different values. So that was pretty cool to kind of you know, get to know in other people, and it made the show really enjoyable. But one thing I would say is what didn't make any sense is why they called it the singles show, because it wasn't giving singles. Because it just seemed like all the other seasons, to be completely honest. It's just that everybody was like, allegedly single, but it wasn't really given like, and maybe it wasn't supposed to be like a love connection thing. But for me, I thought that that was what this season was supposed to be, like a love connection thing. Now, I will say it was a lot of flirtatious stuff going on in this season, but at the same time, it wasn't like your traditional like love story type of thing, right? But anywho, um thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys give the show a try. They have 5 seasons now, so you can pretty much watch all the seasons probably in a week or two. But I think it's really good entertainment. It's like, something to watch. It's a little something to do. And like honestly, you'll get so intrigued in the show that you literally don't even want to like put it down. And honestly, I kind of picked this show up randomly by chance. And honestly, I wasn't really wanting to watch something like this like ever. And then I just gave it a try, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. And my husband watched like the first season with me, and he's like, look, I don't want to watch this no more. No more. So like I ended up just watching it by myself, and I liked it a lot. So anywho, thank you guys for watching again. And if you don't mind to like, comment, share, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And you guys have a great week, and I will be seeing you guys sometime this weekend with the movie review. So goodbye.